All right, fellas, we are officially live on the NBL. Let's wait for the viewers to come in.
All right, guys, I'm back. Showtime.
Perfect. Just getting the word out before we get started.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Uh-oh, Angel in the building. Andy subscribed at tier 1. We appreciate you for the subscription. Coach Angel Lopez representing NYC. Of course, he's going to hold it down. His boy in the house, National Master Lamel Mac. We have a cage match with a series entitled Unfinished Business. Coming to you tonight, we have National Master Dominique Myers in the house. And we also have National Master Lamel Mac in the house.
Here.
Mad Quick Chest, they said, what's up, Dominique?
Hi, there we go.
Joseph Gasson, yo, everybody's in the building. Chess Moose 2, we see you. Grandmaster got this. Who's the Grandmaster, though? You got to clarify, man. Chess Moose 2. Remy, if you could just jump in. This is my co-host, candidate master Remy Adekola. Y'all know him as Mateproof.
Man,
Don't talk no smack to him because he will smack you back.
you know how it
Remy,
goes.
introduce
You know how
yourself,
it
my brother.
goes. Man, we're in for a good match tonight. We got two good brothers here, and we got two different personalities coming from different parts of the nation. Gentlemen, we just want to hear your thoughts before you get into the match. I know you all said you all were telling us a little bit earlier about what you do to prepare for a match, but what's your mindset going in? Is it killer mentality or is it strangle? Do you have a certain animal that fits your personality going in? Let's get a couple of thoughts from you guys before we start.
Usually I use the first few games to figure out what's going on. Gotta get your foot in before you can start going in with a game plan.
That's an excellent strategy. That's an excellent strategy. Very, very nice. What about you, Mel?
I'm always Mamba mentality, man. I'm not an LA Mamba. I'm a Miami Lion, but always kill mode, man.
Nice. That's that New York mentality, baby. That's the New York mentality. We can see the cities definitely have an impact on your chess mentality. So you bring the city to the game. Man, this is going to be a good match. Is there anything that you try to avoid going in?
Avoid.
Yeah.
Try not to get too far behind in points because when you start doing that, you can't think objectively about the game anymore.
Absolutely. Yes. I've been there. What about you, Mel? Anything you try to avoid?
I mean, just staying locked in, man. You know, just staying locked in. That's all.
All right, good. What's really nice about this is the first time you brothers have actually had a match. From what it sounds like, you all have never even played each other over the board or online over the board, it seems. We tried to look up a little history. We couldn't find anything. So there's no beef. So maybe this will be the first time to get something started. This may be the first of many duels between the two of you guys.
Listen, man, my family from North Carolina, man, so I got nothing but love for NC, man. And
I love that.
I want Carolina Blue for y'all today, man.
Beautiful.
And representing NBL, you know.
Dominique, does that mean you're gonna go a little easy on him since he put that out there?
Oh no. Can't do that.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we are approaching the 8:03. At 8:05, we're gonna get started. Remy, they say you have echo, so we apologize about the echo, guys. What's gonna happen is, so that the players do not receive any commentary or analysis from us, We will be muting ourselves from their lines. They will be able to be heard by the viewers, but they will not be able to hear us. Man, Angel, thank you for all of the gifted subs. Joseph Gatson, a gifted sub. Pushing Pawns NYC, Rhyme Master, Plaster Hippie, Just Like Music 313. Appreciate the gift and those subs, brothers. We love and support everything you're doing out of NY. We appreciate the support here. So real quick, they won't be able to hear us, and as we do that, you guys will hear us loud and clear. You guys will be able to hear them loud and clear, but they will not be able to hear us. So don't think that we're giving away moves and they can hear everything that's happening. It's not like that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually mute their lines now.
And my feedback should be eliminated now.
All right, so now, so let's do a quick audio check. We are muted from them.
All right, good.
So
how's my audio?
Yeah. Let us
Any
know
more
how Remy's
feedback,
audio
guys?
is.
How's the audio, guys? That's a sound check. How's the audio? Any more problems? How's it sound now?
It sounds good. Akash says no more feedback, Remy. Hell yeah, I've been
All right,
waiting for this. And
that's my boy Akash. Akash is on the line, man. I gotta say, I want to see Akash in one of these matches. Akash has been handing it to me in the NBL arenas, and I don't like it.
I'm glad you brought that up, Remy. We will talk about his upcoming cage match between him and Angel Lopez.
Are you serious?
Right now. Yeah, they already.
Has that been arranged?
It has been arranged. We have a date on it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Now
that's going to be nice.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to come out and watch that.
We are going to get started real quick. Let me unmute myself from the line so that Dominic can hear me to give him the green light to send the challenge.
All right. Ready to get it popping, Dom?
I'm ready.
All right, bro. Yo, good luck to you, brother.
Hey, good luck to you, too.
You're ready. I'm a match.
Man, this is going to be a really nice match.
All right, you guys are good to go. We're all set.
All right.
All right, we're tuned in. We're following and watching Northridge Hawk. That is Dominique Myers, Northridge Hawk. And Lamel Mac is Treasure Chest 777. That matchup is dope. Absolutely. First of all, if you are not registered for the NBL and you're not even putting yourself in a position to be in one of these cage matches, you are way behind the ball. So log on to NBLchess.com, register, put yourself out there so that we can get you in this cage and see how it's happening. So we got our game number 1. Remy, this is your area of expertise, baby.
Man, I am trying to. All of a sudden, I had a little bit of an issue in my my game dropped off, so I'm trying to get back in here and follow them back.
Okay.
So let me try to give me a second here to get back on there.
Yeah, just search Northridge Hawk and just click the on his profile. You can just click the little TV icon. It'll just follow his games.
There we go.
All right, I'm looking at these weak squares around the light. It looks like Lamel McBride is in trouble in his first game.
Ooh, yes.
King safety is vital to chess. All right, we got loose pawns. We got a knight hanging.
Pawns are hanging.
There's a queen potential fork on e8, supported by the bishop. So this is just not looking good at all.
It's not looking good starting off. And I'm surprised because I have to be honest. I did not think Dominique was going to come out with this kind of aggression.
Absolutely. And he sacks. Whoa. Fireworks. Okay, it looks like he's looking at the potential of rook e1 and getting to that foul anyway.
Rook e1. Yep, and the queen can't move. The queen can't move because of the mate on f7.
F7 and e8.
Oh my gosh, this is just a total slaughter.
Dominique came out swinging.
Man, where did that come from?
Lamel puts his hand on his
with
lip.
The haymaker.
Lamel puts his hand on that imaginary beard that he has. He's so perplexed right now.
We know what that means. We all know what that means.
Man, Fish Fast Swimmer says any matches for a 1400. Absolutely. We can arrange whatever.
I think rook takes queen is necessary because the knight can't take because of the mate on e8, right?
Wow. Rook takes. Yeah, he sees it. And he sees
free
now.
Bishop?
Yeah, free bishop. It forced the rook. There is no back rank. Yeah, this is resigning.
Oh my gosh.
This is resign. I'm gonna go ahead and get that score ready.
Yeah, I don't even know how he's still playing.
No bueno.
No good. No good. Wow.
All right, game number 1
From North Carolina.
goes to
Oh, my
Dominique
favorite
Myers.
move on the board, knight f3. Every time you see knight f3, it's a win for white.
Blasphemy. Did I beat your tail in the
You
cage match
you
and show you
you
that it
you
wasn't?
know that you know that very well.
I don't know what you speak of, sir. Sorry.
Oh, this is a nice solid opening by
Take this guy.
the North Carolina native. He plays very solid openings. I like his opening. He stays solid. He stays pretty solid coming straight out the opening, pretty much like his personality. It's a nice even keel, but it's a lot of venom within his moves. He has that real nice veneer, real nice sweet personality, but the chess moves show you something totally different.
Absolutely. And Chuck Deasy, very spicy first game. Very spicy.
Woo!
You are 100%
Fire
correct.
on the board. I'm sure there were a lot of, and they seemed like it came so natural to him.
Yeah, that I think Lamel just kind of had to get his bearings.
That's
Give
what
him a
he said.
chance. Yeah,
Both
he might
both
just came in
individuals said
cold.
they used the first couple of games to fill their opponent out. This is the first time they've seen each other over the board, so there may be some nervousness.
Absolutely. And as Seymour, the famous Chicago native, says, Lamel didn't just come in cold. He came in ice
Ice
cold.
cold.
I
But the
miss Seymour,
position is
man. It's
looking good.
quarantine.
Even in this position right now, I like black. He's got a lot more space. His pieces are on nice squares, and it just kind of feels like white is defending, and white is not supposed to defend, especially coming right out the opening. So
Now,
let's
Ray, I
see if
mean,
he
what do
can.
you, I so the night that was well, I didn't even like the fact that White got rid of the knight that was on B3. I felt like it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't attacking any squares. It had no escape. So why not just let it sit there and take the position a piece ahead?
Good point. Yeah, it looks like he's finally getting his pieces on some good squares. I think he missed an advantage. The B6 square was very
Juicy.
sensitive and open, and I think he could have utilized it. But it
Well,
seems that Dominique may have
don't miss the queen. The
left
queen
some
was on.
weaknesses in his camp. That
Yeah,
C6 pawn is very weak, and with correct play, White should be able to corral his pieces all the way around that C6 pawn, win it, and probably win the game here. So this is looking good for White here because of that weakness created on C6.
I was
You
gonna
see,
say
I really, I think he could have put the bishop on C5 and really just dominated the position coming in from there. I think he still has an opportunity to get that bishop in there on C5, then play, um, uh, get D4 in and get those pawns rolling down the middle.
it's definitely an advantage to White. I just don't think it's as clear, especially with this bishop that is on G7, on the same diagonal as the queen. I do see some potential tactics as far as knight sacks or knights moving out of the way, trying to link
I'm
up
just,
when the bishop was on D4. That was.
I really have to say, I feel Lamel is nervous because this doesn't seem like the way he plays. He's just playing kind of tentative. He let Black play C5, and it seems like Black definitely has gotten back some of the initiative. He got rid of that weak C pawn, which, if won, could have really given White a wonderful initiative and possibly the game even.
Absolutely.
Now I think it's a little bit more unclear, but there's chances still for both sides. Oh, look at those dark square weaknesses. And the master is taking advantage of them.
So, real quick, Matt Quick Chess. Absolutely. To answer your question, I know firsthand that Coach Angel NYC that you see in the chat, he says that he's 100% confident in Lamel McBride's win today, and he had offered in our Discord and also in our Facebook group that he would take on any challenges, any
What?
challenges,
Is that what he
absolutely.
said?
Uh,
I wonder how he feels now seeing
Now the
the way
chat
things are
says
looking
knight
here.
b3. Is the Masters missing this, Remy? Doesn't the
Well,
knight support the
the
rook?
king, they have to remember that the knight was pinned. The
Oh, it
knight was,
was. It just moved, right?
the knight was pinned. So he couldn't move it. He wanted to, and maybe that's why now he's played King H2. Um, I really believe he had a wonderful. Oh, look at
Nope.
this. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
The knight
Tactics
removes the defender
coming.
from g7, right?
It moved well.
And now knight take. Well, the queen can take and hold the position.
The rook is free. The rook is free.
Yes, or else he'll get mate. Oh, he finds. Ouch!
Oh,
Ouch! Oh!
no, I missed it.
Dominique Myers with the surprise attack.
Wow!
And he laughs while he does
what
it.
a turn of
Fucked up a
events!
little bit that game.
What a turn of events!
Let's listen to the players. They're giving a sigh of relief, and Dominic laughs as he authoritatively puts his queen on f2, leading to the mate.
Yeah.
One of the things that was very interesting to me is that Dominique knows jujitsu.
Oh man, bro.
It's alright. It's alright. As they say, it's a part of the game.
Was there a mouse slip?
Let me see what happened here. Oh yeah, he gave up 2 pieces instead of 1. So he lost the knight, and instead of taking the knight back, he accidentally moved the king to f2 instead of bishop f3.
That's just a part of the online chess. It happened when in yours and my match. That happened to me. And I slipped a piece. As I recall, I still ended up tagging that tail.
Remy, let's not make this about me and you. But
no.
I do have something to say though. I just want to put this out there, Mateproof, that I was on Twitch, I believe last night.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going through the chess streamers to see who's live, who's playing, and and I come across a feed called Trini Cupid. I remember that name from a conversation that me and Nate had previous. So I said, let me check this guy out. So I go on, I follow him.
Sounds familiar, very familiar.
Yeah, I go in and follow him, and he sees my following. He's like, "Oh snaps, GodDanielX, with the follow, man. I appreciate the love." Woo. So after the love affair and the love fest, because clearly he's been following what the NBL has been doing, he then brings up your name.
He brought up my name?
He did, and he said
now, did he bring it up with a measure of fear?
It was not fear. I'm sorry, sir. It was not fear.
Continue.
What I'm wondering, what's the long delay with these players?
I'm seeing.
I haven't went forward in the position. I apologize, guys. I didn't even keep up with the position. That was my fault. Right, I was analyzing it and didn't resume the screen. But back to Trini Cupid. He then says the guy that you have the cage match with, I actually played him in a tournament. And I said, "Oh, really?" I commented in the chat and I said, "Oh, really?" Then he calls out your name. He says,
"Let me pause you for a second." Detroit brothers, they in Indiana, Michigan, they put on a really nice tournament. I played in it. It was awesome. It was a little bit different, but very enjoyable. Those guys did a real nice job. But go ahead, continue on.
Well, you say a real nice job, but according to Trini Cupid, with the Caribbean accent, which made it even more hilarious, he says that guy you played in the cage match, I whooped him twice. He was easy.
He said what?
He said he whooped you twice, and he said it was easy. I just want to fact check this and see if it's true.
Let me give some clarity to this. And before I start, I have this to say: my palm is up, and this goes out to what's his name again?
Trini Cupid.
I'll see you slip.
Respect your daddy, boy.
Well, he said it was an easy victory. He said he positionally just outplayed you. And he said all of this live on his stream. I was shocked. I was like, man, I thought the Caribbeans would have a little more.
Let me clarify some things. So I had just wrangled with Grandmaster Alex Linderman. And it was a great match. I lost both games. I thought, I gave him a pretty good game, as the commentators spoke on. And after that, I was out of the winnings. So the way the match went, the way the tournament was supposed to go, you're supposed to match your opponent. Well, I didn't get a match, so I just said, hey, I'll get 2 forfeit wins. I thought it was over. Then the arbitrator messages me and says, you know what? Neither one of you all sent the challenge, so do you still feel like playing? I asked him, I said, are we playing for anything? He said, just rating points. I said, I'll play him if he wants to. I didn't really, it didn't mean anything to me. So I really wasn't giving it my all. I'm not making any excuses. He did win both games, but to me, I was just playing around. I was talking. I wasn't amped in. I was doing other things at the time. So, I didn't really care. But now that he has put his face out there and his face is out there, he can get some more of that whenever he wants.
Nate, if Weak Fish Fast Swimmer paging Dr. Nate to the chat, I have heard officially that he says, Remy, rumor going around, you're scared to play Nate Kelly.
Wait. This is for Nate. Nate, put your face up. That's the "Are you stupid" slap.
All right, so looking at this game, it looks like Dominic is about to, even though down a piece, secure a third win in a row. Because it looks like Lamel is not managing his time efficiently.
Yeah, man, this is getting bad here.
I do see some dark square weaknesses with White. Maybe he can convert them, but he literally has 8 seconds to do it. So maybe knight f3 and then the b4 push.
Causing a little confusion would be good here. Get some checks in. We got to play Queen G1.
This isn't sufficient. I don't know. 6 seconds is not enough to.
Queen,
You
that
gotta go
knight
Queen
needs to
D7. Yeah, Queen D7. Step up. Yep, walk it out. I think he comes back in B5 pawn. Yep, it's very tricky. Can he slip a mate? Oh, he slipped a mate with 2.5 seconds.
That was a good fight.
Wow, with 2.5 seconds. So the score is now 2-1.
I will
Let's
change.
make it
And
a
thank
match,
you,
guys.
Triple
Let's make
Six
it a
KO,
match.
for keeping us up on the score. I know I had that 1-0 up a little too long for your liking.
It's 2-1.
The score is now 2-1 in favor of Dominique Myers, National Master out of Charlotte.
Now, this is what was interesting. Dominique told me before the match that he has studied a form of martial arts called jiu-jitsu. And I asked him, does he use some of the things he learned there in chess? And he said one of the only things that he tries to maintain is that in jiu-jitsu, you don't go in with all your force and try to overrun your opponent. You try to establish your advantage and then maintain it. And it seems like he's been doing that in these games. It seems like he's been establishing an advantage. He's not trying to overrun his opponent, and he's just building on that advantage, holding it, and squeezing his opponent to death.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you look at any MMA matches or martial arts matches, jiu-jitsu is all about the submission, the chokes. Is rarely ever, hard force trying to knock somebody out. So he's 100% correct with that analysis. And he also said that he actually contributes more of his chess to his jiu-jitsu than he does his jiu-jitsu to his chess. So that's very interesting.
That's very interesting.
Chess covers the gambit of every facet of life, man. It's a beautiful game.
And that's very true. And as you can see from the players, that also brings out a lot of emotion.
Hey Remy, Trini Cupid is in the chat, baby. He's online.
I would like to. Good. Is there any way you can bring him? Is there any way you can give him some voice so we can talk? Is there any way he can be put on this chat with us?
It's possible, but it will take too much background logistics to get it done.
All right, good.
I like the spirit though. Trini Cupid, after putting your foot up Mateproof's butt twice.
Wait.
Would you be interested in putting it up his butt anymore? I wouldn't use those expressions. And he says in the chat he's a non-violent man, Remy.
Well, I'm gonna. That things are about to change very quickly.
All right, let's see what we got into. Let's do a little analysis, real quick. Let's see what this game. Oh, this was a Dutch.
Yeah, it's very interesting. White has this pawn on E6. Now, when White gets a pawn on E6 and it's down this deep, if it can be supported, it's a big thorn in Black's side. But can it be maintained? The only person I've seen handle positions like this and do them well is Magnus Carlsen. Otherwise, most individuals are not able to maintain the tension necessary to win these types of positions.
Now, with the F4 pawn falling, though, Remy, that F4 pawn makes a huge difference. See, I don't like that continuation. Why rook F6 instead of queen F6?
Instead of queen F6, I don't know. And he allowed the defense. Now the pawn is being held. I'm telling you, if that pawn stays, he's gonna be able to perform some Carlsen-esque type maneuvers, and he may be able to pull this out. White may have a nice advantage here, though Black's structure looks better. It's more aesthetically pleasing.
I think we missed something, though, Remy. Notice how White is actually up a piece.
Up a piece?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I
Oh
think we were
wow!
running our mouths or something, but
Oh wow!
white is actually have a
This
bishop with the e6 pawn.
with the e6 pawn.
And
Wow!
soon an
Oh
f4
man!
push
And the
or
pawns are beginning
f5
to
push
roll.
coming
Those
soon. Yeah.
yeah, those center pawns. If he connects those pawns, you can count. You can cancel everything.
I mean, it's happening. F5 right now, right?
I like pushing the pawn to e7 and causing a little bit of confusion there and
That would be premature. If he goes
disconnection of
e7,
the rooks. Well, I
it's
think
on
you
a dark
follow it
square.
up. I think you can follow it up with e4 with queen e4, and you can cancel the babies there.
So you're saying instead of these other moves, go e7, rook steps over to e8, queen to
Follow it up with
e4,
queen e4.
and
Here
then
it comes. But now you see now it doesn't have the same effect. Wow, he keeps allowing that queen to dip in there. But does it mean anything?
yeah, it means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now because the queen is gone, now we have e5 with the queen supporting is there. Ouch.
Oh, what a blow!
Ouch.
What a blow! See, this is
This is Lamel.
I think he had this move earlier. So now it's 2-2, and this is a match, folks. This has become a match.
Yeah, let me get ready to adjust this score because and he resigns. Yeah.
Good game, bro.
Yeah.
This is a match,
2-2.
2-2.
Let's see what we got for this one. Let's
So,
do.
in talking to Lamel, one of the things Lamel was mentioning is that whereas Dominique draws a lot of his inspiration from the martial arts world, Lamel draws his inspiration from the streets of New York. He was born and raised in Harlem, and some of those we know how New York is the hub, or some will call the mecca of chess, and so he gets in and brawls with the street hustlers, with the professional chess players, and so that's where he draws his strength from. And we saw that he was down early, and it looked like he may even have some may even have counted him out, but you can never count out a New Yorker.
Absolutely. That was actually unique. C captures D instead of queen captures D, giving himself the opportunity to go D4 and support that central position. And then this knight on D7 is going to have some difficulty finding some squares after D4. So this is Dominic is playing really strong in this. I'm willing to say he's going to win this next one and take the lead with
I think it's a
3-2.
little premature. I am a fan of structures, and I like that Black's structure is solid. Now, granted, White does seem aggressive, but if he's not able to produce anything, this discord of his pieces is going to be his downfall.
I mean, look at Rook C1. Everything just works.
Rook C1 doesn't mean anything without being able to coordinate the rest of the pieces. He's got no real queenside activity, and Black is doing very, very well. Black can play Queen B8, followed by B5.
Black's bishop on F8 is stuck. Black's knight on
No,
D7
no.
has no future. The light square bishop is backed up, so
like
this
Queen
rook on the
B8,
A file can't get in the game. What are we talking about
no.
here?
All he has to do, no. Black is completely fine. In fact, with the trade of queens, Black is even better.
I agree with that. I don't know what possessed him to trade. That was just silly, in my opinion.
Now he got Black just needs to finish his development, play B5, Bishop B7, and everything's good.
Remy, I don't think anyone agrees with you. Flanora68 says Black is busted.
This is for whoever that is.
And Akash says Dominic seems to know his openings better.
This is for all those who are disagreeing with me.
You can't slap everybody that has a difference of opinion. They can get the
"Are you stupid" slap. That's the "Are you stupid" slap. When everyone sees how Black slowly improves his position, with me, I like positions like this, and I think that I can understand. I understand these positions. I play these positions often.
I'll give you that. This is definitely your cup of tea.
I'm telling you,
it looks like Black is slowly making his way out. I'll give you that.
The only problem Black has now is the finishing of his development. Why he won't connect those rooks, I don't understand.
White really just mismanaged this, in my opinion. I think if you just play D4,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why he mismanaged it. The discord of pieces. Pieces need to be in harmony. And when pieces are not in harmony, let's go Bishop B6. When pieces are not in harmony, then it becomes hard to find ideas. When your pieces flow, the ideas are easier to find. Now, White
so in that
may
position,
have had a better.
You felt like White pieces weren't in harmony?
They were not in harmony. The
Oh
rooks need to
no!
be. Yeah. See now, look. Now that means Rook H3 was a wasted move. Now it had to come back to H1.
Because of his
Whereas Black,
because he
Black has
fumbled.
wasted very few moves.
This guy was at the 5-yard line, Remy, and he
No,
fumbled
no,
the
no, no.
ball.
No, not at all.
Now
Black is
F6 has
doing,
well can't because
yeah,
D6 or E6
Black
falls.
is doing very well. Um,
Yeah, now I'm
he
starting to
has
like
no
Black
real,
better.
he has no real structural weaknesses. Whereas White is still trying to find harmony with his pieces. Now he did have a much better play. The bishop was much stronger on uh, D6, and now he's losing material here,
Yeah, I don't know
which
what
is
that was about.
unfortunate. He just mismanaged the position. He had a very wonderful position, one that could, with accurate play, have
And he
won,
resigns.
but unfortunately goes down.
All right, let's make sure
Now
that
we
they're
gotta solve
aware
this little messy play.
of what's happening. I'm gonna unmute myself on the call. So, fellas, just so you guys are aware, the score is 3-2. Dominique Myers is up by a game, and that is the 5th game. So there are 6 more left in the blitz section. Okay.
All right.
All right. So I'm back muted. They can no longer hear me again. Let's change the score as well, Remy.
Yeah, it's 3-2. It's a close match. It's a close match. This is very. I'm telling you, the games I'm seeing are very, very fun.
And to be honest, I'm gonna put this out there in the chat room. The way that everyone discussed this matchup, I think that everyone should be surprised that it's actually 3-2 right now. They were making it sound like there was going to be a land sweep by National Master Lamel, and it's turning out to be quite the opposite. Chess Coach Net,
Absolutely.
Frank Johnson tuned in. What's good, my boy? James
What's up,
Canty,
Frank?
GM Canty is also in the room. GM Canty, appreciate the love. Thanks for coming through. Anybody else that I missed? Dave Franklin in the room. Will
Oh
Jackson
man,
in the
Big
room.
Dave, Big
Angel
Dave.
Lopez in the
Oh,
room.
nice
Thank you guys
move.
for tuning in.
Look, nice move. E5, beautiful.
Big fella in the building. Y'all know. Show some love. We got so many streamers in this chat right now. Chess Coach Net, he's a streamer. Make sure you follow and subscribe. We got GM Canty, the Jedi program. Big fella in the building. Make sure you subscribe and show him some love. Akash Maduri, Akash with double A's, AAKAASH. Coach Angel NYC. There's so many streamers in the building. Show some love, y'all. When you get a chance, check out their channels. Trinity Cupid is another one, straight from Trinidad. So when you get some chances, remember all of those names. Go on the Twitch channels, get them at least a follow, if not a subscription.
Man, we gotta
Also,
appreciate all that love coming from the chess community.
absolutely. And we fish fast. Swimmer said, "What's your stream name?" That's GodDanielX. Show some love on GodDanielX channel as well. Even though a lot of my streams are on the NBL page, but I do try to stream from time to time on personal page as well. All right. Now, Remy, you were saying about this position. What move impressed you?
I'm starting to see. I like the way Dominique maneuvers his pieces and gets superior positions time and time again. He's very smooth with the use of his pieces and where they go. And that E5 pawn is going to be a monster to deal with in the end game.
So, would you say that sharing the similar sentiments of Akash, National Master Akash Maduri, who's in the chat, when he said that Dominic has a better grasp on the openings, would you agree with that?
It does seem that he's putting his pieces on better squares, and that usually tends to better positions. The squares you put your pieces on matter, and it does seem that so far he's been putting his pieces on the better squares.
Now, I would say when you get outplayed in a manner like this in the opening, your top priority has to be to counter strike so that you can fizzle out some of your opponent's attack. With that being said, I think this C-file pawn that White has to be your counter strike. You have to get it going, put some pieces, the rooks behind it, get that knight involved, the light square bishop, and then maybe you can turn this around. But if he just lets Black set up, Black is going to overrun him in a few short moments.
Absolutely. Now, how do you save this? I didn't like that move for that move. I didn't necessarily like. I think that F5 or H5 could have been the way. Leave the knight aggressive, play rook E8. See, now you don't have the opportunity for rook E8, which he would have been able to get with the tempo. On the last move, it looks like possibly the e5 pawn may fall, and the advantage is then gone.
Very true. Changing course of events. But he also has to be careful because the c5 pawn falls, and I don't see him holding. I'm sorry, the c4 pawn will fall, and I don't see him holding the a4 pawn. So queen captures c4, and then how do you hold a4?
You can't.
Yeah, so there's still a problem on the a file. You just snap it, rook to b4, and pick up the
rook
pawn.
b4.
Well, he can still go back to c2, bishop c2.
No. Rook b4, and trade of queens, and rook and the bishop wouldn't have been able to go.
There is a prophecy that has just come in the chat, Remy. Would you like for me to read it to you?
I would.
It says from that boy Lloyd. He says 9-1 in bullet. So I'm gonna have to ask you to clarify that boy Lloyd. Who will receive 9-1 in bullet? Are you saying that Lamel will 9-1 Dom, or Dom will 9-1 Lamel? Let's be very specific here. All right, Dom is even doing better on time management, it appears, in this match. Ooh, loosey goosey night.
Everything is
Yeah, he gets free, right?
Black is still doing well. The time is going to definitely be a factor here. The pieces are loose. There's nothing concrete. The ideas.
I'm starting to smell some tactics, and you know when my tactic nose gets to twinkling.
It's over.
Nope. Maybe take knight. He should have took knight.
Should have taken knight.
Yeah. But the bishop falls anyway because he's short on time. Oh, come on, Dom. You cannot let time catch up.
Very difficult to see in time pressure.
Oh, he drops the queen. Come on.
Ouch.
It is now 4-4. I think Lamel is going to snatch this out of the grasp of... Ouch, ouch, ouch. Come on, move faster.
Wow. Wow.
3-3.
3-3.
We got us a match, folks.
We have a match. Man, these guys are not disappointing. This is the first time these guys were going head-to-head in any type of match, tournament, or even online Blitz play. This is the first time they've had a match, and so we have to credit the National Blitz League for putting these two together and putting on such an exciting match. So we have to thank the organizers and those who put in the work. We'd like to take a moment to show our appreciation for all those who are putting in the hard work to make this happen. So thank you to the NBL and all of those who are chess players who are supporting it as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. So it looks like the New York heads have dominated the chat right now, and they're all saying that Lamel will smash Dom in the bullet portion of today's match. If you are not familiar with how the setup will go, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see how the games will be played. We have 11 games.
Oh, look at this.
White resigns. Dom now goes down for the first time in today's match. He is now down 4-3.
I tell you what happens. When you've been playing excellent chess, and see, this is the thing about the New Yorkers. It may not be pretty, but they know how to scrap. They know how to stay in the game. They know how to give you the business. They know how to irritate you.
Absolutely.
They don't play the prettiest chess. Now, some of them do, but for the most part, they like this scrappy.
Absolutely.
They love this type of chess. I'm absolutely sure Lamel is in his element.
Absolutely. So I think you got to go rook f6 on the next move and then bring that knight back to hold off some, if he allows it, right? Because the queen is definitely coming to h5 next. Chess coach Ned don't leave us, man. He says he can't watch no more. He's disgusted. Come on, Frank. Hanging in there, buddy.
I love it. This is what chess is all about, baby. This is what it's about.
He says NYC chess is pretty ugly.
That's what they do, though, man. They don't, but they'll stay in there. Dominique has been playing this polished, squeeze you, get the advantage chess. but Lamel has been staying in there, scrapping it out, hanging in there.
So let me give a personal story, Remy, about these New York chess players, man.
All right.
So we were at the World Open a few years ago, and there's this chess player from Chicago named Eli. He takes on. First of all, he's in the tournament, so let's clarify that. He should be getting his rest, getting prepared for the next day of tournament games. But no, he decides to catch a New Yorker in the lobby in a player called Brooklyn Jerry, right?
Oh, not Brooklyn Jerry.
And they start off after the round playing some Skittles and playing for money or whatever the case was. So they're slugging it out.
With Brooklyn Jerry.
Yeah, so they're swallowing out. It gets late. I tell them, like, yo, I can't watch no more. I got to go get some rest. We got a big day tomorrow. There are several games that we got to be focused and ready for. So, you know me. I'm the guy that's going to go call it a night. Right. So I go to the hotel room. I relax. Before I leave, I ask them what was the score. Eli's up maybe about almost 10 games on Brooklyn Jerry.
What?
Absolutely. So then I come back the next morning. I do my little yawn. Check the pairings, right? I go to the Skittles room, bro, and they're both looking at me like they're zombies from the apocalypse. Their eyes are bloodshot red. Eli's throwing stuff. He's mad. His yarmulke is thrown across the room, right?
Because he is Jewish. He's Jewish,
right? And then he's so upset. So I say, "Hey, man, Eli, what happened, bro? Like, what's the score now?" And G Wayne's nudging me with his elbow, trying not to laugh, right? And then we asked him the score, and now this is no exaggeration. I left him near 11 p.m. the night before. I came back the next morning at about 7 a.m., 7 a.m. These dudes played all the way throughout the night, nonstop. And when I came back, Brooklyn Jerry was up because that's how New York gets down. I was like, what would possess you?
That's how they get down, man.
What would possess you to play for that long of a period of time, knowing that that's what New York thrives on?
Oh, man. Now, what happened to Brooklyn Jerry? Brooklyn Jerry and I had a match that was scheduled. You know how I do. I got down prepared for Brooklyn Jerry. I was going to whoop that tail nice and good because I know how they get down. I know how the New Yorkers scrap. So I got ready for the scrappy play. I got some of the players I knew that were scrappy like that.
Real quick, Remy. With that being said, it looked like Black takes the win and ties up the ball game 4-4. Yep, he resigned.
Woo! What a match! This is pretty even. These guys look excited.
All right, let's see what we get.
Yeah, these guys are slugging, man. Nobody's laying down. Everybody's playing hard, precise chess. This is the type of cage matches that we like.
This is the kind of cage match you want. These guys are both national masters. Lamel became a national master in 2015, Dominique in 2014, and so these guys are established masters. Yeah, they've been masters for a few years now, so they've got some experience at this thing. They know how to be down and out. They know how to put the pressure on their opponents.
And just that quick, it looks like he's weirdly transposed into a Sicilian. But because it didn't start out as a Sicilian, now you have this special ed knight on G3, which just looks completely out of place to me.
That's what I was telling you again about the harmony of pieces. I keep seeing Dominique put his pieces usually on good squares, but every once in a while, like in this game, he puts them on these odd squares, which just creates the disharmony. Now, one thing that does do is it confuses your opponent, because when your opponent is seeing things that he's not used to, he's burning his clock, trying to figure out what's the best way to beat you quickly because he knows it's incorrect. But if you can last...
Do you see it, Remy? He's going for the bishop a6 after the queen check.
Oh, and then there's mate. Look at that. That's New York for you, baby. That's New York.
There's no mate, though. The knight on G3 holds the mating square.
No, if that the diagonal is open, the king would not have been able to step over.
And he finds a way to get a piece out of this. Interesting. I think he has to now force the issue, so he needs to go queen H. H2. Whoa, what the heck is this?
There's a bishop hanging on F4.
So he snaps a pawn.
And maybe
major.
Are there some tricks with H4 now? H4.
It could be. I was also thinking about rook A6, but the back rank is weak.
Yeah, the back rank is weak. Look at this, a rook left. That's a definite classic New York move. Reminds me of Emory Tate.
Was Emory from? No, Emory's a Chicago cat. No, Indiana. Emory's from Indiana.
Yeah.
Well, excluding his travels. One of the most brilliant international masters I've ever seen in my life.
Of all time.
Yeah, he has some of the greatest games against
I'm sure he would be
grandmasters.
proud. I'm sure he would be proud with Lamel Mac's rook lift move. But how do you follow this up?
It's rough, and bandana piece doesn't really help much.
Yeah, I mean he's got it was that's a clever way to cancel and get the rook involved. But as we keep talking about the harmony of pieces, now his F7 square is weak, and it's almost like he has to force a trade here, and that's the worst thing you want to do.
I smell the New Yorkers getting nervous, Remy. Oh, he drops the piece and brings it back even? What the heck?
Well, it's not the most pretty play that we've seen. I tell you, New York, they have this scrappy way of playing that confuses you, irritates you, and makes you do things you normally wouldn't do.
But they're getting nervous in the chat. If you look at Crash True, that's Errol Singh. I believe he's from Jersey. He's now saying play him at the Marshall. So what does he need? Home court advantage? I don't get what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. Come on, man. Come on. You know what? Who said that?
That was Crash True. He's a NBL member. Errol Singh is his
This is
real name.
for you, Errol.
Oh, I'm sorry. He was saying he played Emory Tate at the Marshall Chess Club.
Oh, I'm sorry, Errol. I take back the stupid slap. I am so sorry.
That boy Lloyd said, like I said, Blitz will be split. For anybody who's making the assumption that they thought that this match would be this close, I'm going to challenge you on that because the comments that I read and the exchanges that I saw and read as well did not paint this image as if it would be this close. It was making Lamel win in a landslide, and I think we should be honest about that and just say Dominique is playing some good chess, and he's surprising all of us.
I think what it is Dominique's personality is so mild. He's so even-keeled. I think that they thought that was going to translate into soft chess.
Oh, wait, Remy, didn't he miss knight F6?
No, knight F6.
Before rook D8, knight F6. He has to either sack the rook or he gets mated.
Oh, that's true. Very true.
If he goes king F8, then you just check him on D8. He steps up to E7 and then rook over to E8, and that's mate as well. So we could look at that real quick right after this game is over, and he gets mated. Black resigns.
Wow. And now Dominique has come back. Dominique has come back and taken the lead.
All right, these guys already started the next game. Dom takes the lead with 5-4. I'm also a little curious about Dom's bullet chess. Not saying that I have confidence in Lamel to take it, but I know Lamel's bullet is solid, right? I'm just not too familiar with Dominique's bullet chess.
Oh, okay. Well, I must say I like the positions that Dominique is playing. I love these positions as black, and he's already white did not play this correctly to get the correct counterplay. And so I'm interested to see what kind of New York spin he's going to put on this position. Those knights, those double knights on the back rank kind of reminds me, he's playing like Topolov. He used to do moves like that were, you just couldn't understand the reason behind it until later. So maybe he has something up his sleeve, but I think black is very much in control here. Absolutely. Have you been following the Magnus Carlsen Invitational?
I have, bro. It's been very entertaining. I was shocked at the Anish Giri upset the other day.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you check that out?
I did.
Man. I thought he was the drabbiest, driest player of the sort of the entire group, but he's the one that kicks the butt of the world champ.
Man. But let me say this, man. Magnus Carlsen is very forward-thinking in what he's doing here with this invitational. But I must say I have to give you some credit because I remember some time ago, you saying that Blitz and the faster time control is the way to popularize chess. I remember you saying this years ago. And I was saying of the mindset that it would never happen. You have to have the classical. But here it is. Magnus Carlsen, the #1 in the world, is changing the face of the game and making it much more exciting by the use of the faster time control. I am loving the faster time controls, and I'm hoping that this catches on and this will become a mainstay in some of the way that they play some of these chess matches. But I remember, I have to say, I remember you saying this years ago, that they have to speed it up so that this thing can become fun. And if they keep it like this, it is very entertaining.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this is the gift and the curse of the COVID-19, man. It's forcing everybody to come online and speed things up, but at the same time, it was destined for chess to head here. Wow.
So do you think that this will become kind of standard? Do you think that chess can ever go back to what it was? Or do you think this changes it forever?
With this type of fan engagement, commentary, viewers, it will never go back to the way it was. It would be asinine for it to go back the way it was.
I'm feeling you. I'm definitely feeling you on that. How do you think the NBL is contributing to the change, or how do you feel the NBL is I guess kind of carving itself into the rock?
Man, we were one of the first to do it. This is becoming very popular now that the coronavirus has everyone in their house. But let's not forget, this is season 3 of the NBL, which means we've already done 2 years of this already prior, and we have a nice following, a good fan base, very interested players. The seasons are getting stronger as time goes on. Matter of fact, some of the head coaches were making that comment last night when we were on a conference call. And they were like, man, this has to be the strongest season to date, the most well-balanced season to date. We got 2 Grandmasters playing, International Masters. I mean, this is as good as it gets. But the beauty of the NBL, though, Remy, is that these lower-rated players get a chance to play with the big boys.
Exactly.
If you look at Chess24, Chess.com, you get the footage of the top 1% in the world. But what does the little man get? The one that's striving to be a master, striving to be an expert. He gets nothing. But in the NBL, he gets a chance to contribute to his team, participate, play GMs, play IMs, play some strong players. And that's what we pride ourselves in, and that was our goal from inception.
Absolutely. Going back to the game here, this is looking very, very interesting.
Yeah, White can't survive this.
Oh my gosh, what was this? Is it desperation, or did he find a draw? Did he find a drawing mechanism?
Knight takes h6, right?
Knight h6. Out.
I still don't see the follow-up, though. Maybe knight
f5.
Knight f5 takes, right?
And then, G2. On B2, there's a bishop hanging. So what is this? I think you just take. Oh, and then black is winning.
Yeah. Dominic held on to this position. It looks like he's going to take the 6-4 lead.
Uh-oh. What's happening here?
These discoveries are dangerous, though.
Nobody is giving up. What does he have?
He couldn't go down, though. He had to stay home in that one, in my opinion. Because now, how does he prevent?
Just kind of keep the square, keep that diagonal a little.
This is dangerous.
The king safety. King safety is a problem. White is okay because of black's king safety.
Wow.
Tactics are on the horizon.
White only has 7 seconds to get it done, but
there's a pending mate on B2.
I don't see stopping this. He has to sack the queen and go for time. Sack the queen, go for time.
Oh, wow. Well, he's holding the mate, but I guess he said at least he can hold it and flag him.
He held it. Impressive. This is why these guys are masters, man. This was a good game. 1 second left and he gets mated.
And look.
Dominic. Let me unmute us real quick. All right, final game of the Blitz portion, fellas. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. The fans are loving it. Final game of the Blitz portion, and we're going to take a brief 5-minute break and just kind of get a breather and go to the washroom and get a sip of water, okay?
All
right, so these guys are humbugging. Let me change the score. It is now 6-4 in favor of National Master Dominique Myers.
If you had asked me before the match what the score was going to be, I would not have imagined that Dominique would have the lead. I must be honest. But here he is sitting with a nice, commanding 6-4 lead. So we know for a fact that he's going to come away with a win in the blitz portion of it. Now let's see what he can do in the bullet portion.
I think knight d2 here. Knight e4. White should be pretty good, but black. Only thing I don't like about black's position is this knight on b6. That looks
But
weird.
there's some harmony. There's something to be said about the harmony within the pieces. And if he can start translating that into concrete ideas, then that, I don't know about trading the bishop in that scenario. I think he had to do something with the pawns. He's got force on the queen side, and so breaking up the queen side with moves like a5, a4 probably would have lent strength to the b6 knight. But now it just looks...
I think he was maybe considering the weak pawn on, or not weak, but the pawn on d4. But it doesn't work because the rook is hitting on the queen on the f file. So
exactly. So maybe he didn't think it through. Now that knight is going to have to try to move and find itself a better square. Oh, this is kind of ugly. So it looks like both knights are going to be retreating, and that's never a good sign. Whereas white's pieces are centralized and in harmony.
Absolutely. This is starting to be a landslide for white. You have the f7 weakness. Of course, the queen is coming to attack h7 as well. Yep. And then knight e6.
Oh, boy. Look at that nice, juicy e6 square.
Yep. And it's knight on b6. You said it was harmonized. It still looks retarded to me, sir.
No. It would have been okay if he had made moves that were in conjunction with the position. He should have played a5, a4, which would have lent strength to the knight. There's a loose pawn hanging on e5 there.
This is not good.
I love pawns.
Actually, I think he can sack on h6, right? Bishop h6.
Yes, he can.
And there's a mating tactic with the dark squares.
He do it that way
too, but it's not as authoritative.
It was more forcing just taking the pawn.
Yep, it's still there. Bishop h6, it's still there.
I don't think it's the same now.
How do you answer queen to h6 after the recapture?
I think it's just a simple back and forth. The king just hops back.
You gotta know your tactics, Remy. Queen f6, queen f8 are the mating squares. Right? So after queen h6, if he blocks with queen, and that's ball game.
Yeah.
What's score?
7-4.
All right, the score, fellas, is 7-4. Dominique Myers is up. Go ahead and get you some water. Take a quick break. We're gonna talk a little smack with the audience.
Good games, fellas. Good games.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's look at this last
What time are you
position
going
here.
Back? Let's say 5 minutes from now.
All right.
All right. Good game.
Let's look at that position, analyze it a little bit, because I think it's defendable after King h8.
All right, so let's see. What part of the position are you talking about? After he played queen to g6?
Let's see here. Knight f8.
Tell me what move you're talking about, Remy, so I can be on the same page.
I'm trying to pull it up now. Give me a second. All right, so at the end there, let's go to move. Let's see here. Let's go to move. Let's follow this, starting with move 25.
Move 25. I'm with 24. You. So queen g6.
Yeah, then I think in this position, I think he can go ahead and I like taking the pawn on e5, which seems like that's the number one move. Okay, so it doesn't look like, even here, it doesn't look like capturing on h6 works.
And just according to the engine, even in this position, he's up. So if he would have took the pawn, he would have been up a rook, 5.2. But when he moved g6, he was still up almost 4, so 3.8.
Let's see.
Now, what was your continuation that you were talking about?
All right, so let's go back. So now I think with this, I think the proper defense is king h8. Now the pawn take taking the pawn is a lot weaker on h6 now, because it can be defended. Once the queen takes,
so bishop captures h6.
And now the king just bounces back and forth between H8 and G8.
So you
And
never
there's
capture back. That's what you're saying.
no capture back.
Okay,
But you
so
just
pawn
bounce.
captures H6.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And
then
now the
queen
king,
captures H6.
and the king goes back to G8.
G8. Queen G6. King back to H8. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, or yes.
I guess that's right. Yeah, there's no finish there. What I was looking at was queen defense. So if queen goes
Oh, I
H7,
see. Okay.
yeah, then you hit him with F6 first before you go F8. Now if the queen goes, of course you just checkmate, and if the king steps over, you go F8 mate. That was the little tactic pattern I was
Okay.
looking at. Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice. Nice continuation. At any rate, then what a beautiful, beautiful match for the Blitz games. And I am really excited to see what these guys are going to bring for the Bullet games.
Absolutely, man. I see Dom has returned. Dominic, can we ask you a couple of questions, my brother?
Of course.
So, Remy, so we don't get the echo effect, I will. Let me see if I can mute your other line.
Let me mute myself.
On the other call, right? All right, cool. All right, so now I'm gonna unmute your line, Remy, so that they can hear you now on the other call. All right, so Dominic, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. So first of all, what's your thoughts on this portion of the match? And if you could turn your camera on, bro, it would be clutch so that the viewers could see you. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Again, I was just trying to figure out what openings works and what openings don't work, and then I came up with a game plan mid-match.
So the viewers are saying that it looks like your openings are superior, but Lamel is finding ways to manage in the middle towards the end game transition. What are your thoughts on that?
It's likely. I'm playing a bunch of tricky openings, so we'll see what happens. It saves me a little bit of time, so I can get up on time.
Now that makes sense to me. I kind of thought during the commentary that was the strategy. Your pieces were going to squares that were not normal to me.
Right.
Okay, so that was by design.
Yeah, that was by design. Plus, I'm a hacker, at heart. I always play little tricky lines anyway.
Nice. Okay. And then, do you find that confuses your opponent and makes them burn clock?
Yeah, and I'm more familiar in the openings for the most part. Like I know where the pieces are supposed to be going, so it saves me a little bit of time.
Okay. Because you were definitely.
I'm back.
Blitz strategy, we're talking. Lamel, how you feeling thus far, man?
The guy's better than I thought he was, but I'm missing a lot of. I'm missing a lot of shit right now. Trust me.
That's
just don't get warmed up.
Yep. So he has a 3-point lead. It's 7-4 going into the last 10 games. I'm not gonna talk about percentages because I don't want to get into anyone's head psychologically. But Lamel, what is your expectations for this next 10 bullet games?
Oh, I'm about to bust his ass right now. I ain't gonna.
That's what I want to hear. Yes, baby. That's the New York I've been looking for.
In deep waters now.
That's what I'm looking for. When I asked him earlier, what his expectations were, he was all soft, like, he's my brother.
No. We ain't friends right now, man. I'm gonna put blood in his mouth.
So real quick, Lamel, before we resume this match, I think you got to do the camera a favor, man, and just show the fans your hoodie, man. That's some nice apparel you got right there.
Yeah, man. NBL Harlem. Shout out
here we go.
The St. Nicholas Chess Club in Harlem, man.
Yeah. That's NBL all day, baby.
Shout out to the NBL as well.
Absolutely. And Mateproof, you can't look that good and not show off your clothes real quick before we resume. Go ahead and show what you're repping, man. Talk about all the different pieces of apparel.
We love the NBL, man. We love the NBL.
I'm gonna have to give you one.
Oh my
you
God!
Gotta get one.
Did you not know that those custom jackets, Remy is laying out the vintage with the name tag on the other lapel? Check it out one time. Open up the hit him with the Superman, Remy.
Oh man.
Chicago chest blitzers as well.
Chicago
we in the house.
Chest blitzers.
And then one time for the ball cap. Drop the ball cap just a little bit. Mateproof even on the ball cap. Custom everything.
That's how we roll when we do it. That's how we roll.
All right, so fellas, we are about to let you guys lock horns. The fans are definitely engaged. New York came through deep. They're talking a lot of trash in the chat, but the other side of the world is saying Dom got his foot deep right now. His shoes were white before he started, now they're deep and brown. But we're going to see what happens, man. May the best man win. You guys are playing excellent chess, definitely repping the brand beautifully. So let's get to this unfinished business with the last set of 10 Lightning games. We're going back on mute, and you guys are, I'm sorry.
Let's get it, Dom.
You guys are ready to go. Are you ready?
Yes, send that envelope.
All right.
This is going to be exciting. All right. Let's see. Knight F3 is an automatic win.
All right. This is where all of the predictions in the chat. I know no one else's name is God but mine, but for some reason everybody felt the need to prophesy Remy. So now everybody wants to make claims that he's going to do a 9-1. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen.
It's going to be tough. Usually in Bullet, the person that has the better openings has the advantage. So it sounds like Dominique says that his, he plays these off-brand openings and he's used and comfortable to playing with them. So I'm not so sure that Lamel's going to have an advantage here because it sounds like Dominique has a strategy and it's been working thus far. I know
right now he's up an entire, as they say in Chicago, a whole American rook.
Oh my goodness!
He's up an entire American rook.
Look at Lamel in the
tricky. Yeah, this is just.
Yeah, he's up a full. Man.
A whole American rook.
But he's down about 5 seconds, so
very
he's
true.
Got to capitalize, and he's got to convert.
I could be wrong, but I just don't see. He resigns.
Yeah, that's a whole piece.
The score is now 7-5. Lamel takes the first victory. It looks like New York may be onto something. Let's see what happens in game number 2 of the Lightning portion.
All right.
You can never say anything about the first game. The first game doesn't mean much. It's game 3. What happens in the first 3 games that tells a picture.
Remy, someone in the chat, hindsight is 2700. He says, man, my openings are good, but I suck at bullet. Very true. I think your comment was more befitting for Blitz chess, Remy. I'm not sure if being good at openings matters much in Lightning because there's so many little jabs that, bullet is can be. I'll say it can be, right?
No. If you look at the individuals who are very, very good at bullet chess, they have a great command of the opening. It's if you know your openings, you get out of them quicker, you still have a good position. This was a terrible opening, and it doesn't matter how fast he plays, he is going to get sauced.
This is I'm gonna need Dom to hit a little bit harder. Because this one is curtains. The score is now 7-6.
I might have to switch to my phone if this is up.
I'm not playing with you. Wow. I'm not playing with you.
Lamel talks a little trash.
I might have to switch to the phone. Let me see.
Lamel has smoked him these first 2 games. Woo! Is that a piece that Dominic just took? It was fast,
Dominic goes up a piece. Yeah. He says he's not going to lay down.
He said
now,
he's
I
got
must
to
be honest. Pieces. Wasn't the point differential or the rating differential of the Blitz portion wasn't only about 100 points? I want to say it was about 100 points, and now with this Lightning, the point differential is almost 160. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. This is a huge difference. For those who say online ratings don't matter, don't be stupid. Matter of fact, Remy, give him the sound. Slap
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. Do not be stupid.
Ian James Barnett, we appreciate the love, man. I'm glad that you're into chess, the greatest game in the universe. And Twitch is definitely picking up some steam. Glad to have you with us, man. Chess Connections, we see you. Thank you for tuning into the chat. Just Like Music 313, is that Just Like Music Cameron Tolliver? Who has a cage match this Friday against your boy Stephen Jennings, the closer?
I can't wait. I am really looking forward to that match. Cameron gave now Steve Jennings is my normal partner on 2-on-2 Blitz chess, and he did some things to my partner that I was not happy. Ooh, look at the bishop block.
And this is going south. I thought that Black had this sold up, but this is headed in a different direction.
Those pawns are going to be something to contend with.
Ouch. This goes bad quick. If Lamel can pull this off, this ties the series 7-7. Now this is Desperado.
He's got 2 queens.
Yeah, this is Desperado at this point.
Woo! He's getting sauced. Everything is falling.
Ouch.
He's like, give me your whole house. He said, I want it all. Brand new socks and drawers.
Bishop C1 would have been
Would
better.
have been, yeah, Bishop C1 would have been better. But it doesn't matter. Everything here
2 seconds.
wins.
It definitely matters. Can he survive?
You better get that other pawn.
And Dominic loses on time. Lamel
Wow.
ties the series up at 7-7.
So that tells me that those first 3 games let me know that for sure Dominique has lost his advantage, whatever it was. Lamel does seem to have a commanding presence in the bullet portion of this event.
Absolutely, man. This is turning south. Maybe New York knew what they were talking about when they said 9-1.
It
I
seems that
apologize.
way. It seems that way.
Real quick, while this game is going on, I'm going to tune back. I know you guys want to see these bullet games taking place, but we got to give a shout out. We will be back streaming tomorrow night, first and foremost, for our NBL Season 3 Team Blitz battle. Last night we had the bullet portion where the Atlanta Gorillas took the cake with a commanding and dominating performance. But
Yes,
tomorrow is our
yes,
Blitz port. As a matter of fact, we have the head coach of the Atlanta Gorillas right here, Remy Adekola.
absolutely,
Man,
absolutely.
what do you say contributes to that performance that you guys had last night, man? That was phenomenal. That was the first of all the record-breaking score of Team Bullet this season.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, I think it's a mix of things. Number one, we have great camaraderie as a team. And even when we have bad performances, we congratulate each other. It's always about building each other up, especially when it comes to the chess community. Now, what else contributes to that is we have what's called a gorilla mentality. And so we hype ourselves up before the match, and everybody is all about getting those victories. We play no games with our opponents, and we have some very strong chess players. My son is part of the event, and my son went on a crazy streak last night. He's only he's a 1,000 USCF, but he was whipping everybody last night.
And the
So
head coaches did pay attention to that. The head coaches told me they were like, "Dude, who was the Atlanta Gorillas' fifth board? This mod was at 26 as the last board. They couldn't believe it." So shout
yeah,
out to Snacks, who did a very good performance last night.
yeah,
And
that's my son.
Dominic Myers came back with the commanding, not only time advantage but positional advantage, and takes the lead back from Lamel and changes the score 8-7.
Some people were laughing at some of the picks that I made for my team, but chemistry means a lot. So I'm all about the chemistry, and so
And Nate says he's weak. Laugh out loud, talking about your son, Remy.
tell Nate. Nate, this is for you, Nate. I hope you're listening. This is for you. Are you stupid?
And Angelica J, what is that? J1210. She says and raises a good point. She says stop defending. Talking to Lamel, gotta stay on the attack. So maybe
Yes.
that is the recipe for a success because when he tries to defend, I don't know, but he's not a Petrosian, if you will.
Now, are you saying that we have a female chess player on the stream?
I do believe that's true. I believe Angelica 1210 is the Detroit young lady that recently came on Lee Chess.
Excellent. We need more
And she
female
said yes
chess players.
indeed. Yeah, she said yes indeed. Now you know what would be
Awesome.
beautiful, Remy? Now that you say that,
My daughter. Go ahead.
yeah,
What were you gonna
linking
say?
her up with either another female player or getting her in the cage to
I
show what
would
she's
love it.
working with. So maybe
That's what I want.
where's Don King of Chess? Don King, are you here, Nathan? Let's do some analysis on her rating and see where she is and see if we can get some female flavor on the broadcast. That would be dope.
Exactly. We are welcome. It'd be nice to have her do some commentary if possible. We need some more female chess players to be involved. I'm so excited that we've got some female chess players tuning in. Welcome. What was her name again?
Angelica, and she can definitely set the
Welcome,
tone.
Angelica. We're so glad to have you.
Yeah, she could definitely set the tone for both of our daughters, man. Who we would love to see involved in chess.
Absolutely.
And we do see the women starting to. Be careful. This is some mate. I smell some
Yeah,
mate
mate.
sauce.
He's got to keep it up. Oh, there we go.
He's going back door. Check. Set the king up. Go. You got to go rook. No. And Dominic throws away the game. Loses on time.
Wow.
Score is now 8-8.
What's good?
8-8.
All right.
Yeah, let's change that score real quick.
8-8. This is getting exciting. This is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, this might be one of the closest cage matches to date.
These guys are very evenly matched, and nobody wants to lose. I think Lamel feels the pressure of having to represent for New York because he knows that not only is he losing to Dominique, but we're going to talk about him and all the chess players from New York. He knows that he's going to have to hear it. So I think he's feeling the pressure. I think
We're
he
definitely
knows
going to
he's
bombard
gonna
him with personal messages for the
absolutely
next week at least.
Absolutely. And the rest of the chess community and those New Yorkers, they know it too.
And Cameron Tolliver comes in the chat and says Dom needs to learn how to click move. Yeah, his wrist game is not that good. So maybe he knows what to work on after this cage match. Hindsight is 2700. Wait, you can do that? I don't know how. Yeah, you got to be a pre-mover in bullet. Not pre-moving is a great hindrance.
I don't know why he didn't play knight. Yeah, that guy should have been in there. Now he let the king get away.
Yeah, I'm about to say he needs to bring that something else to that second roll because black is definitely lingering. And
check.
Yeah.
The knight's got to get over there. Swing that knight to the c file. Oh wow! He slipped his queen.
Oh my god!
This is going to be a very difficult 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean it's not a lot of time, so maybe he can salvage, but he still can't leave the second rank either.
Even without a queen. That's it. Here comes mate.
Yep, and he can't stop A2. Oh, he does.
Wow, look at the resourcefulness.
Pre-move. He gotta go.
Look at the resourcefulness.
Oh,
there it is.
Anyway. Yep, coming down anyway.
Yes,
ball game. All right, treasure chest now take the lead 9-8.
This is a scrappy performance. The way things have been going, Lamel has never had a 2-game lead. So I'm going to say that he's not going to be able to maintain it and that this is going to go back 9-9. I like to go with the numbers, man. I don't think he's going to be able to maintain it. I think Dominique is going to come back and grab the victory. This thing is going to go down to the last game. We're going to see 9-9 after this. My prediction is we're going to see 9-9, and then this game is going to come down to the very last game.
Well, first, let's talk about the fact that Dom has already taken 2 games, so that 9-1 prophecy was false, right? We can stone the person now.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't be God, but it's okay.
Yeah. Who gave that false prophecy, by the way? Who gave that false prophecy?
We'll have to scroll up mad comments because we have so many comments tonight. We appreciate all of the love to everybody who's in the chat commenting. Thank you to every follow. Thank you to every subscription. If anybody subscribed, we appreciate it. Tuning into this great broadcast. We have so much. Absolutely. And speaking of that, while they're slugging this out, Remy, can we talk about what's happening this Friday?
That's what I wanted to talk about. We've got a lot going on in the chess community, and I wanted you to give a little schedule of tournaments and events coming up to all of those who are listening so that we can have full house with everything that's coming up.
Absolutely. So I apologize about the graphics. I probably should have pulled this up a little bit better earlier. But we do have this Friday, Cameron Tolliver. In the chat room, he is just like Music 313. He is taking on Stephen Jennings, Chicago's very own.
My partner, Stephen Jennings is my partner, trained by me.
Yep. Stephen Jennings, the closer. They are getting it in Friday night at the same time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be broadcasting it. NBL. Remy, will we be blessed to have you back on Friday?
Oh, man, I would love it. This has been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
This has been very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to it.
And just like that, the predictions are coming in the chat. Coach Angel NYC says, I like Cam here. What's good? Joseph Gatson comes behind him and says Detroit is taking Cam.
There's no way Steve is losing. I'm just going to put that out there right now. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. For the first time, Lamel has taken a 2-game lead, and he can close it out with a victory in this match. Does he have the New York grit? Can he close it out? Do you think that he has it in him? Does he have the Last Dance has been playing, and we know that Jordan was a killer. You don't want to see Jordan in a decisive game. He will close you out. Does Lamel have that New York fight, and will he close Dominique out right now?
The score is now 8-10 in favor of Lamel Mac. Trini Cupid now gets to talking some trash. He says, "Told you all, my homie Lamel gonna win this." Joseph Gaston says, "Remy, are you stupid?"
I got to give myself the smack. Let me
Hindsight
smack.
is 2700 says, "I gotta hold it down for Portland in the cage match. Best Portland player to play in NBL and not get banned." Hindsight is 27. Can you tell us what your real name is so we can know who you are? Mad Quick Chess says, "Blitz is close. Bullet, Dominique is terribler." They made up a word in the dictionary that does not exist.
Well, he's got a 20-second lead, and he's going to need it to survive and stay alive here. He's going to need all 20 seconds because let me tell you, the Lamel is on his behind.
I'm not sure how Black can finish in this position. Where's the close of the deal?
Is there a sack on H3? Is there anything? Can he play? The night is pent. He's trying. I'll give you that. It's not for lack of effort.
Yeah, counterattack was the best thing he could do. Now you have this windmill effect. This is called the windmill.
Oh, look at that. It's going to go down to the last game.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mate.
Uh-oh. Dominique Myers pulls off the upset and surprises Lamel Mac with a mate.
Whoa! But he's got to win 3 games straight. To win the match, he would have to win 3 games straight, whereas Lamel only has to win 1 game here.
Absolutely.
Now, Dominique has to win 2 more games. So he's under a lot of pressure. It's very difficult to beat someone 3 games in a row.
He's done it already. If you look at the Blitz portion, he had a 4-game win streak, actually, in the Blitz portion.
But he's shown that his bullet is not up to par.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that, Ruby, but yeah.
Well, we're here to commentate the truth.
Absolutely. So we're down to the last 2 games, folks. This really depends on what happens in this game that is going to change the tide. Do you think that last mate was a choke because he was so close to glory, Remy?
I think so. And that's what I was asking you. Did he have the fire? Could he represent New York? And I must say he failed horribly. I think that New York should come back and he has to be chastised for that. I know if there was a Chicago player, we're not going to allow that.
Yeah,
if a Chicago player chokes like that, they're going to get chastisement. So New York has to chastise Lamel for that, and he must be punished in some way for not finishing the deal.
And because he didn't finish, I'm starting to like Black in this position. So,
but now Black is down. Black is down 8 seconds, and those are critical seconds.
Seconds, but you do have the C-foul pawn. So
he's got a pat, but he does have that pass pawn, which could become very
hard to get the bishop in the game. Let's see what he got. We're down to a second differential.
Can Black corral that C-pawn?
Come on, y'all. Put it in the chat. Who do you think is going to get this when we're down to the last 2 games? And Black has to win. They are in a must-win situation in order to
Black
send it
is down 10 seconds. He's not going to do it. Lamel is going to pull it off. Lamel wins the match.
Ouch. Hold on. Don't lose faith. Things happen in Bullet. Don't lose faith.
No. It's going to take an act of God on this one.
And I'm not playing.
Lamel wins the match. Ouch. What a game. Wow. What a comeback.
What a match.
What a match.
Lamel wins the match 11.
Oh, 9-11.
Yep, 9-11.
Let me just tell these guys, you got to finish the match, guys. You got 1 more game to play.
Yeah, this is the final game, fellas. 11-9. 11-9 is the score. Final game of the match. You guys put a beautiful match. We're going to do a post interview as soon as we close this, but may the best man win. Final game.
All right.
Yeah, it's very difficult to beat somebody 3 games in a row, and Dominique just let himself fall into too deep of a hole. But he played beautifully.
Remy,
this was
the same standards you have for New York. Do we have the same standard for Charlotte? Because Charlotte was tuned in. The Charlotte Chess Club was actually streaming this match.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So what should they do with Dom? The fact that he did not take the commanding lead that he had in the Blitz portion and carry it over into the bullet point.
There has to be some type of reprimand. If he's representing your city and he comes out and he does this. Now, let me say this. He did perform well. but not well enough. So there has to be some type of chastisement. I would like to see him have to do some push-ups after this. I'd like somebody. There has to be some type of elder statesman from Charlotte that tells him to get back there, do his push-ups, put him in a position where he won't want to be in that position again. I'd like to see him do that. That's what we did to Detroit. Remember, we were in Detroit at the Chicago Open, and they wanted to race us.
In a foot race.
In a foot race. And
lost their mind.
They lost their mind. And they were punished. And they lived up. One thing I can say is when Detroit gets punished, they do their punishment. And they've been punished several times by us. And they always live up to their punishment. Look at this. What is his team doing on F4?
All right, so that is the match final score of 10 to 11. Let's bring you guys. Go ahead and mute your other line, Remy. All right, fellas. First of all, we got to give you guys a round of applause. Excellent match. Excellent match. Let me unmute Remy as well. All right, so we're live. First of all, man, this probably has to be to date one of the closest cage matches that we've had. Final score of a 10 to 11. Actually, let me update that on the screen. But what was your thoughts going into this bullet portion and how it started off? Let's start with Dom first.
Yeah, I realized I'm not as quick on the mouse. I probably should play from my phone for that one, but I knew he was really good at bullet. I've seen him.
Yeah, man, he was really putting you in some precarious positions very, very quickly.
Yeah, I realized that.
He stormed off to a 3-0 start. What were your feelings when he did that?
I was like, well, I signed up for it, though.
That's right.
I like this. I signed up for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Lamel, how did it feel when you came down with a 3-point deficit moving into the bullet? All of a sudden, it's just firing on all cylinders in the next portion. What was your thoughts as that was happening?
I mean, I figured I had the edge in bullet. I knew the whole time bullet I was going to smoke him, honestly. But I was impressed with his blitz game. So, you know, I want a rematch, honestly. It was
the winner wants a rematch.
It's so close that I want a rematch, you know? Like,
wow.
If we do a rematch, so I'm gonna play.
Wow, the winner wants a rematch.
Hold on. What was that, Dom? I heard you say something.
If we do a rematch, I'm gonna play from the phone, though. It'll be a little different.
That's what I want, man. I want the best.
I like this.
All right, so let's start with you, Lamel. Since you won, I mean, I guess you would be entitled to call out the next potential challenger. Is that an official invitation to Dominique Myers, or would you like to take on someone else?
I mean, we always got that. I'll take someone else, but I definitely want to play Dominique. That was a good game. That was a good match.
It was a good match.
You know who I had on the radar for a long time, man. Remy, man. It's time to.
Let me tell you this. Hold on. Hold on. That's something you don't want to. You deserve. Let me put your face in the camera, sir. You deserve this.
Remy, man, I'm calling you out, man.
Don't be stupid. Do not be
Remy
stupid.
has been called out by Lamel.
Don't be stupid, man. You don't do that to yourself. You just had a great performance. You wanna live on that for a little while.
It was all right. I'm ready for the next flex.
Don't do things that'll tarnish your reputation.
Trini Cupid is saying no. Give Remy to me. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
Everybody wants.
I have to do a simul. I want him too. Now him I do want because he came out and mentioned some things that was a little out of pocket. So I'm gonna have to definitely handle that business.
You definitely got the G check.
Remy, the chat is also saying Joseph Gatson says Remy will lose 0 to 10 in bullet against Lamel. So they're saying you have not a snowball's chance in hell in the bullet portion.
I agree with that.
What did you say?
I agree
with it.
So real quick, Dominic, who is in your sights next?
I mean, they've been trying to put us together for a minute.
Who is that?
Me and you.
Oh, me and you? Oh,
yeah.
The hosts are being called out by the two competitors. Oh my God.
Exactly.
I mean, let's set it up, Smack. Where Nate at? Tell me set that up right now.
A double header. That's what I'm hearing.
The Don King is in the chat trolling and lurking. He's hearing every last invitation that you guys are making right now. But we just wanted to say, man, good job to both you guys. It was very entertaining games. A lot to be learned from it. There was strategy on top of just the stereotypical chess. A lot of times on streams we get just the stereotypical book stuff, but it's good to have some strategy involved, switching up lines, putting pieces in different formations. I saw several
Yeah,
times
that
out of
was
the
nice.
games that you guys were actually getting back into standard openings, but the move order had switched around. And we would look at the position and pieces were just in squares that they shouldn't have been. So you guys play some beautiful chess, man. It's definitely a great broadcast, and we appreciate both of you guys
Yo, man, I
coming out
appreciate
tonight.
y'all. Shout out to
Absolutely.
Charlotte Chess Center, man. Shout out to the Charlotte Chess Club, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
also
keep doing
top
these
shelf,
matches.
and also top shelf chess training. You guys
Absolutely.
also
Yeah, man.
basketball,
Appreciate
man.
that.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And lastly, before we end today's broadcast, thank you to everybody who tuned in, gave us a follow, gave us a subscription. We truly appreciate it. But lastly, we got to talk about one more match. We talked about the Cameron versus Steve Jennings this Friday at 8 p.m. But we also have one more match. That boy Lloyd. Listen, if you're in the chat right now and you want to get in this cage, the first thing you have to do is go to nblchess.com and get registered. If you're not a registered member of the NBL, we don't even know that you exist.
He's registered. That boy Lloyd is definitely registered.
Is that S Lloyd?
Yes, that's Lloyd.
Okay, so he's registered. So yeah, you already know, man. Get in the chat, follow us on Discord, get in the conversation, and let us know who you want. We can definitely arrange that. But last but not least, I want to talk about the Saturday's match, which is probably one of the strongest matches that the NBL has had to date. I apologize about the cosmetics. I probably should have put this together a little before. But here is the flyer. This is what's happening this Saturday. We have International Master Atuya Shetty, who has been kicking
Ooh.
backside in the NBL Season 3, and he is taking on International Master George Lee. So
Oh,
these
that's
guys
Oh,
are
that's
going
good.
to
gonna be
get it
nice.
in a special
I'm gonna
unfinished
go.
business episode. We would love to have Remy back for commentary as well on Saturday night
Oh,
if
that's
he's
gonna be real
available.
nice.
But that's going to be a classic game, a classic match. So make sure you guys get your comments in and see who's going to win that one. But that's a fun-filled weekend. Again, on Friday, Stephen Jennings, the closer, versus Cameron Tolliver. Detroit versus Chicago. And then on Saturday, Michigan versus is George Lee from Chicago? I think he's Chicago head as well. He's an Illinois head. So Chicago versus Michigan on Saturday. All right. So any last words before we end the stream from anyone, the host, the players, anybody?
Yo, man, I'm
Keep
looking
doing what y'all
forward
doing.
to this bed. No, bed, Dominique.
All right.
So we'll
Keep
get
doing
that
what y'all
rematch
doing,
set up,
man.
and we'll let the people know when everything is going down. GM Canty G says GG. Akash says GG. Y'all getting mad love. Fire Messiah says Remy is trash. I hear Nathan Kelly's playing Madness.
Oh man,
Thanks, Trini
Gotta add
Cupid.
that in there.
it sound like he lost some money, bro. It sound like he lost some money.
Probably so. Probably so. All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for the team Blitz match taking place at 8 p.m. on
Shout
League
out to
Chess.
the Miami Lions, man. See y'all tomorrow.
All right. See you
Yes,
guys.
All right, guys.
Peace.
All right.